This week on another excellent episode of X-Men Mayhem, we're going to talk about X2.
X-Men. X-Men.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to X-Men Mayhem. I am your host, Darien.
I'm your other host, Landon.
And today, we're going to get into the second of our, like, watch through, I don't know what to call it,
Series.
marathon,
Marathon. Yeah, marathon.
I
Marathon
don't
probably.
know, of
Well, is
the
there a
Fox
marathon
X-Men
if
films.
we wait a week each time we watch
It,
them?
well, I don't know. What's the
No.
difference between waiting a day?
Uh, well, a marathon is like
Back to back. This is like
back to
back to back
back.
weeks. Anyway, we're going to talk about
Oh.
X2. If you haven't seen our X-Men review, go check that out. It's up.
Hmm.
And yeah. So what did you had you seen this movie before,
I,
or like parts of it?
I've said before that I've seen it, but then I watched it and I'm like, I don't think I've seen this one because I don't remember anything from this. I'm gonna go on a limb. So I've never seen this before. I haven't seen any clips from it. I
Oh,
was
you've
surprised.
never
Surprised.
what was the you've never seen the Magneto with the blood?
That I have seen that, but that was the only thing. That
Yeah.
was it. I didn't see
That's my
the.
favorite Magneto scene in this
I
whole
didn't
movie.
see. I mean, I guess spoilers are. I mean, it's over.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I
He's
saw
old.
Jean dying. Like I didn't know that happens.
Setting
And
up the third movie.
yeah, set up the third
Well,
movie.
dying, right?
Yeah, dying. Yeah.
If the last scene is anything to talk about.
Yeah. No. I'm trying to remember what else. For some reason, I thought Nightcrawler showed up in the third one, not the second one.
There's another blue X-Men that shows up in the third one.
Oh, the goat. The goat. That's
Crazy.
crazy. It took up till the freaking third movie.
And it's the tragedy. Jubilee was in this one. Like named too. They said her name.
No, no. So
Yeah,
I
Storm
don't.
said. But
Um,
they didn't do Gambit. They should have, but they didn't.
I haven't done Gambit yet. Iceman's with Rogue. All
Yeah.
right. Gambit,
But
Gambit,
I like
Gambit.
Iceman, so I can live
I
with it.
like Iceman. Yeah. Pyro was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like Pyro.
Obviously coming back in Deadpool
Yeah,
3.
I'm excited for that. Have you seen it? You said you've seen this before?
Yeah. A few
Yeah.
times.
Mhm. All right. Like you watch as a kid, or did you watch it like way later?
I didn't watch it as a kid. I watched it way later.
Way
I
later.
would
Okay.
think the first time I watched it was maybe less than 5 years ago.
Listen, I got you. Were you trying to? Did you just turn it on because it was like on
I was
Disney
like, I've
Plus?
never seen this. I had just watched the first one before, even though I had already seen that. I did just watch that, and I was like, I'm gonna watch this next one because I was big into the X-Men movies for a little bit, even though
Yeah.
it's controversial. I don't know.
Not a very controversial. Because I know my brother. Whenever you and my brother started watching at the same time, because my brother went on a huge binge
Well,
of.
I watched them up until I never watched First Class. I can say that I never
I've seen
watched
that
that,
one. That one.
even
That's
though
like
I
a
know
really
that
good.
it's like one of the best ones. I've seen
Yeah.
Days of Future Past, and then
Never saw
after that's
that.
where it goes into like Apocalypse.
Yeah, never
And
saw that.
I remember watching Apocalypse, but I don't remember much of it.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't think I've ever seen the Wolverine or X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I've seen. Okay, I saw X-Men Origins Wolverine back when it was leaked online. That was the last time I saw it. It was back when. What
Oh no,
year?
I was
I
about to
guess
say,
it
when
was.
did that
I
movie
guess it
come
was
out?
year. 08, 07.
Oh, I was about to say you just showed your age, but then never mind.
Show my age. Oh, good. I saw it back when it leaked. Because I remember my dad. He's like a new Wolverine movie coming out. He laptoped it. I mean, he put it on the laptop, watched it on TV, and we're all like, this sucks.
Oh my God.
And I remember he like turned it off because he's like, this movie sucks. I saw the
I don't know,
Wolverine.
everything I see about X-Men Origins Wolverine looks good, so I don't know how I'll
It's
think
weird
about
because like almost all I actually like everyone in it besides obviously the elephant or
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Yeah,
Like the Blob looks good in it. Well, What's his face as a Sabretooth? It's not like a
yeah, Liv
Sabretooth design,
Schreiber.
but I like him. Um,
I
who
like how
else
this is the X2 episode where we talk about every movie besides X2.
besides X2? Well, I'll be honest. I got nervous watching the beginning of this because I thought I was gonna be in the group of, oh, I hate two and three. I love the first one. I don't like two and three.
It does
Um,
start a little weird. It
it
kind of
start.
like
I don't know what it is. Something about it starts
it's kind
off.
of like when you get on a roller coaster and like it kind of like jolts at first before it starts. You kind of like oh, and
It's
then
like,
you like
hold
start
on,
going
hold on.
okay, okay, okay.
All right, cool, cool. And that's not saying it needs to start on like a big action scene. I mean, like my favorite movie is like Spider-Man 2, and like that.
I
It
mean,
doesn't
this
start.
what did this start with? This started with them at the museum, right?
Yeah, them at the museum, and you see Logan out in the forest.
Yeah.
No action scenes.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I'm imagining this, but I feel like there was a scene cut from that Logan thing in the forest where he was supposed to get attacked. But I don't. I might be thinking of something else.
Well,
I might.
also it starts with Nightcrawler at the
That's true. He attacks the
I think that's
president. He
where
attacks
it
the
really
president
starts. And
under the influence of Stryker. Right? He had
oh,
that
what
like
was
stuff.
he?
That was because remember they looked at his neck and he had the little like
Oh
spot on his
yes,
neck.
yes, yes. I thought I was just doing it just to like get like set
No, it was
mutants free.
Stryker that had got him, and then
Gotcha.
made it
I
better.
remember that. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And
The
what
whole
do you think about
museum thing was
Nightcrawler? By
what?
the way, what do you think about Nightcrawler?
I like
'Cause-
him, but he's just a little. He, how, he's too dark. That's what. Listen,
so
listen,
awful. How dare
listen.
you?
No, the blue tone that they used on him was a little too dark. It should have been lighter, I think.
So here's my issue.
Because the like lighting with the like movie kind of messes with it.
Yeah, the movie's like very dark.
All trilogies.
Ultra, yes. The problem is, and it's not, it's crazy because the characterization's pretty good. It's not even really the color. For me, it's really the texture where he
Like
has.
angelic symbols or whatever.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know, something about
Yeah.
that I just don't like. I'm just like I want to be smooth. I want to, I don't know how to say that, and I want his eyes to be like very. I know he has like kind of like the yellow eyes, but I'm wanting it to be like
I can't
very.
remember if he's in the next one or not.
Can't see a reason why not.
Yeah, I just can't remember. All I remember from the next one is Beast, Kitty Pryde, and Juggernaut, and like some other characters.
Yeah.
Um,
Wolverine. Yeah.
but
I
the movie did because like the whole museum thing, it was them taking the kids to a field trip or whatever.
yeah.
Pyro, Iceman, and Rogue are like
There.
being um talked to by these like other two guys who are asking Pyro for his lighter, and they cause like a whole thing. They show their powers and all that. All of a sudden, everyone just freezes, like in play. Everything stops besides them, and then Xavier shows up. I'm like, y'all done messed up.
Wheels just showed
Yep,
up.
wheels pulled up.
Wheels
Um,
put up.
yeah, that was good. I'm gonna less recap what happened and more touch on the big stuff, because like the plot is simple. It's Wolverine diving into his past, and
Trying to
also
figure out who he is.
Stryker. Yeah, Stryker. Kid breaks into the place and gets the plans for Cerebro, I think it is,
He
or
yeah,
he
he,
has
br-
plans for Cerebro to make his own.
he
He
has
needed the
plans for his
technology.
own Cerebro so he can kidnap Charles and make him like kill all mutants
Yeah.
with his like with Cerebro because he was able
Um.
to contact them all.
Yeah. And so that's basically the plot. And obviously, Stryker's the guy who basically created Wolverine.
Yeah,
Um. And you get Lady Deathstrike. She shows up in this.
yeah. And I
But
guess
she's also
she
in
show
Deadpool 3.
yeah. I
Yeah.
says like she's about to show you the same actress. Do we know
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
cool? That's gonna be cool.
Um. Trying to think. Obviously, Mystique doing stuff in this movie. she's a
Mystique was
she's always doing stuff. I don't know.
she's always doing stuff. She's always like a I I
She's not
tell you
like a
what,
bad guy, but she's like Catwoman, kind of.
yeah. Well, I tell you what, I absolutely love the well not love well here, let me go on this before I forget. They kind of butcher Cyclops in this series so far. It feels like he should be in it a bunch, but he's not.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, I'm wondering if he's
He just
on.
has
He's not.
like
I was
his
wondering if he was
lines are
on it
kind of
somewhere.
his lines are not like exciting either. He doesn't do like any like team leader speech stuff or
Nothing
any of that. It's kind of
special
just
about it,
like.
and it's a shame because
But I also get that with Rogue. No, not Rogue. Rogue is fine. She's got the white hair in this now.
yeah,
Storm. That's what I'm trying to say.
yes, yeah. I'm
Storm's
like, what?
she's
It's
like
sweet.
I don't know.
And you think like in the first movie they'd show them off a lot because I mean they've been in the X-Men for a long time.
Yeah. It just seemed like
It
they
makes
had like
sense for them to
okay.
be there.
It seemed like they had like okay, our main characters are like Rogue, Wolverine, Professor X. That's who we'll focus on mainly in this movie. Everyone else is kind of the side characters. They don't really have
Yeah,
much going
yeah,
on for them.
yeah,
They built up the relationship between Cyclops and Jean Grey enough to kill her off at the end of this and have a big emotional moment or whatever.
yeah. Did you
Uh,
feel anything for that or?
I think the first time I watched it, I did cry,
Yeah, you did. I
but
was
it was
just
because it was like wow, okay.
I actually really like Gene in this series of film so
I
far.
like the whole like Cyclops getting angry at Wolverine and Wolverine's like she's gone and he's trying to
Mhm.
like
He's like, no, she's not. Yeah, and that was great. That was good. I like I feel like Cyclops is in like four scenes in this movie. It feels.
yeah.
Like, am
But
I wrong?
he did get controlled by Stryker at one point and attack
Yeah,
Jean,
like
which was
that's what I'm
fun.
saying. Like it's that scene at the end, field trip, and when he's with Professor X and gets
It's
kidnapped.
just yeah, it's just
There's
like they
like the
didn't know what to do.
four.
They just don't know what to do with him.
I don't know why that is. His and when you have such a great like casting choice like James Marsden to play him,
Yeah, that's why I hope he's in Deadpool,
I hope so. So you get that redemption.
please.
I mean,
Um,
please.
but so yeah, you got this whole thing. The whole attack on the mansion that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that
Or
was
the
crazy.
SWAT
Yeah.
members, the
Well,
kid like walking down the hallway and the dude just like shoots him in the neck with the
boom.
tranquilizer,
My fiance thought straight up thought that that you
just
just
killed
like
him.
shot him, killed him. I was like, oh my god. Oh like, no,
Um,
they can't. They won't do that.
Colossus
Yeah, a little
showed
Colossus
up.
cameo for a minute.
Yeah, I don't. It's cause weird because the that's not the one from Deadpool because
No,
he's American. This one's American and he can also turn him into a human. But
Amer
like,
American Cyclops.
but it's weird because the Deadpool one takes place in the past. So maybe that's the actual Colossus, and this other one's Colossus' son. It could
Where
be.
did Colossus get with? Like, I mean, I'm
I don't know.
wondering, that does Deadpool take place in the past?
It takes place in like the past timeline or whatever. Because remember in Deadpool 2, that doors that shows like the young X-Men or whatever.
It does. Does it really take? Because I've never known that. Does it
Yeah, it basically
really?
takes place in the past. Yeah,
Or is that like just a joke?
I mean it could be that, but I'm pretty sure it takes place in the past.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
Um, but well, I guess we'll find out.
Mm, mm.
Um, trying to think here about some other stuff that went on. Okay, obviously, I want to talk about this. Magneto, right? Also, he's the one that gave away the position of the mansion and all that. That was a really
Yeah.
good scene when he told Charles about that, and he
Yeah.
was like telling me, he was like, I told him everything, and you could tell Magneto was starting to kind of like he was like laughing a little bit, but he's also kind of like terrified.
Yeah. You don't really know exactly what's going to happen, but
Yeah. That was a good the scene with the guard coming in there, and before that, Mystique had injected him with the iron or whatever.
yeah.
And so when he comes in there, he's like, "There's something different about you," and he lifts him up and he starts pulling all the iron out of his blood, and he turns him
Oh,
into
yeah.
like,
Have his pores and stuff, and
yeah,
just like
so
made
good.
a little plate to ride on.
Yeah, that was so good. That little plate. Every time I see it, yeah,
I'm just
every
like,
time I see it, I'm like Lego Marvel superheroes.
I do exactly, exactly.
That little like 2x2 little like thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was a good scene. They do Magneto's so good in this.
He is, yeah.
Um,
It seems like they got everyone right, besides Cyclops and maybe, I guess to an extent, somewhat Rogue. She's better in this movie, I'd say, than the first one.
um, but what do you think? I think my favorite sequence in the movie, though, might be the whole part at the house by Iceman's house.
Oh,
He goes to
yeah,
see his parents. That whole part was really good. And
was
you get
good.
the cops show up and they shoot Wolverine,
Yeah,
tell him
because
to put the
yeah,
knives down.
yeah. Iceman's brother calls the
Calls the
cops
cop,
on
yeah.
him. Says he like
And then
leave.
his mom was like, "Have you tried not being a mutant?"
I'm like, dang, woman, that's terrible. That's terrible to say to your son. I'm
Just
trying to
I
think.
think even they asked Wolverine, they're like, "What kind of professor are you again?" He was like, "Art."
No,
And
no,
Wolverine will be an art professor.
he would be an art professor. He's good at sculptures. The I'm trying to think of, like my favorite scene, but that one might take the cake because
It was just
I
fun, and
I don't know.
he
You know
like
what? Call me childish, but I absolutely love the fight with Wolverine and Lady Deathstrike because of
that was good.
how gruesome it got at the end. Because
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't want to seem like childish, be like, oh, you just liked it because it was like, just an action scene, but
Well, she
like,
had him like on the cage and like stabbing through like the
it was
like
awesome. And then
bars and stuff.
he injects her with a bunch of adamantium and like comes out of her
Yeah.
eyes and then she throws in the water like what it cools it down. And
And it,
then
like yeah, that weighs her and she just
you
like
hear like
doom.
weighs it down. I thought it was like
Yeah.
hilarious. I loved it. I thought that was
Um,
like probably the best fight scene in the movie, honestly.
I would think so. Obviously they get Stryker at the end. I know we skipped a lot. I think we hit most of the important stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, there's that like kid. There's Stryker's son. That's the reason he's doing it.
yeah,
Stryker's
he's
son
taking control of Magneto, or
is
excuse me,
like has
Charles.
the illusion thing.
Yeah,
Um, and so he's like there. They go to stop him. Magneto, I think, does something into with the
he
room.
so at the moment where Charles is killing all mutants because he's brainwashed into doing it, Magneto opens the door of Cerebro 2, and then he kind of stops it from happening, and he gets Mystique to come in and
That's
and
right. Yeah,
just a striker to tell his son, "Hey,
kill humans.
kill all humans."
Yeah, which is like the
So
most Magneto thing to do ever.
yeah, Uh,
Um,
um, House of M
at this
stuff.
point he's gotten Pyro on his side. He
Yeah,
told him he was like, "You're a god among insects,"
yeah.
and so he's basically he and they
Kind of
reveal at the end
tragic
that
with Pyro because you're like, because honestly, like you can really understand where he's coming from. Like it's like you're like you have these powers, and you can't help it. You just got them. You're born with them, and you have all these people that are like wanting you dead.
yeah,
For like no reason, and then you're just
he got
like
on
you
my
try
nerves a
to.
little bit only
Mhm.
because he kept flicking that lighter, open and close. I'm like, "Shut up, dude!
Yeah, he gets some
Stop!"
ADHD, man. That's his mutant power.
Yeah,
He get crazy
it's an
with it.
interesting power though. He can't shoot fire, but he can like control it when it's there.
Yeah, I know, and I did think that was interesting. I've never seen that because when I think of like, oh, he
I guess
has like
that's
a
a good way to
fire.
make him not OP.
Yeah, now, I like it though because it was really like unique because I've
Yeah,
never seen because they could have simply just made him like throw fire out, but no,
it's
he
like
like
it could be like
control.
Iceman, where Iceman can just like shoot ice.
Yeah,
Well, I
I
don't
mean,
know if he
I
shoots ice more than he like just cold air.
hold on, dude. The scene where like him and I'll tell you this too. A dynamic I really loved was with Rogue and Iceman
Hmm.
because of like Iceman, like he loves her, but he's like aggravated because I mean
He can't like
he
be
can't
with
touch
her. Like,
her,
yeah, yeah.
and
And
it's like
They had the whole thing with Wolverine and him in the kitchen.
yeah,
Earlier in the movie, they kind of talk about that a little bit. And then you
mhm.
get, I mean, they do Rogue and him kiss, and and everything seems okay. She blows out like the cold air out of
That
her
cold
mouth.
air, yeah,
Yeah, and then they do it again, and but then that's like too much.
yeah. So and he's like you're not gonna hurt me. They do it, and it's just like especially because I'm assuming he's like how old do you say he is? Like 17?
Um, Let me look. Hang on, let me look this up.
I'm assuming he's 17. And
How
I
old
mean,
is
if you know,
Iceman
like,
now?
you know, teenagers and stuff, like
He
I don't mean to get
is
like too into this, but like with like hormones
he's
and stuff,
around. I would say around 16 or 17.
16 or 17, like, you look at, like a teenage boy around that age, what I'm saying? The hormones are crazy and all that.
Yeah,
It's just like I can't express love with someone. I thought it was really good of how they portrayed that in this.
yeah.
Um
Um,
and Pyro, yeah, back to Pyro real quick. It's interesting because I can see where he's coming from, getting like pissed off, like I'm sick, like I'm doing my best here,
yeah,
and y'all are like, I'm like I'm done with y'all, and then joins Magneto, and
yeah. Um, so I mean, basically, we get to the end. Stryker leaves. The whole place is flooding. The dam cracks, and explodes. All the water's coming out. I think what was it? They Magneto tied Stryker up to somewhere else, right? Because he was tied
the
up to the jet
yeah,
or something,
so
and
yeah,
they took
Wolverine
that.
ties him to the helicopter and then goes to go save the
Yeah,
X-Men because the dam's breaking, the
yeah.
water's
And
going,
Magneto comes
but
out and takes that, and
he like
puts him.
he straps him to like a wall. It's
Yeah,
pretty funny because he had like the chain across his face.
and Rogue is piloting the X jet or whatever it is,
Yeah, X-Jet.
and
I don't know why she freaks out. Is it because she just can't control it
yeah,
fully,
she
or
can't. I mean, she's never drove it before.
yeah, she's all like, "How?" I'm just like, and like
Um,
has a breakdown. But I mean,
Speaking of
yeah,
Rogue, there was a really good scene with Nightcrawler. When the jet, when like the top of the jet, well, I think it's got hit with a rocket, and the jet like broke, and Rogue
yeah.
flew out. She didn't have her seatbelt on,
Oh yeah, yeah. And I
and
was like,
then
oh, Rogue's about to
Nightcrawler
fly.
pops out, grabs her, and pops back in. That was really
Yeah,
good.
that's what I thought. What I thought was about to happen is that Rogue was about to fly.
Yeah, that was the
Um,
perfect chance.
it, yeah, I know that's what I thought was about to happen. There was gonna be a little character growth there. I know in some comics Rogue can't fly, so I guess that's why they
Well,
didn't do it. So,
Magneto makes that joke at one point. Whenever they like once that's all over and he catches the jet, and he says, they haven't even learned to fly yet or something like that. I can't remember the
uh,
exact. He makes that joke.
I remember that. I remember that. And yeah,
Um,
Nightcrawler grabs her.
but yeah, anyway, back to the end. They're in the jet. Everyone's there besides Pyro, who's with Magneto, and they're trying to start it. Jet won't start. Jean Grey senses the flood, and she
Yeah, damn about to
leaves.
break.
Yeah, she leaves. No one notices until Charles notices. And was he the one that said, "Where's
No,
Jean?"
no, no, no. Cyclops. At
Well,
least
no,
Cyclops
because
says,
Charles noticed first because he was sitting there like noticing. He's like he could sense that she was out there, and
yeah,
then he
yeah,
said something.
but I think Cyclops, like that's true, but I think Cyclops says something,
Oh,
and
because I for some reason I saw it. I thought Cyclops, whenever he heard someone say something bad, he jumped up to get up and go.
you might be right. I don't think Charles said it. I think someone else said, "Where's Jean?" And then Charles says, "Oh," or like he's like she went outside, and that's when
That it
Cyclops.
might be that because I
That's what I
remember
remember, but maybe you might be right. Charles maybe said the whole thing, but I thought someone else said it. Then he's saying, "Oh, she went
because
outside," but it
I
don't
know
matter. Point
yeah I
is,
know
she's
Cyclops
outside.
jumped up.
That's the point.
Cyclops
She went for
jumped
a
up
smoke break.
and went to go get her, and he wouldn't. She wouldn't let him. She was holding him in
Yeah.
place, and she was talking to them through Charles, saying that it's
Mhm.
okay. She needs to do this,
Mhm.
sacrificing herself basically for them. And she gets the jet start. Well, I think they get the jet started, and then um, it starts to fly off. She dies, and then Cyclops and Wolverine have their whole moment, where they're
Yeah.
both kind of crying and upset. Um, and
Yeah.
then
Very
you,
good scene. Yeah, like
yeah,
Cyclops like punching Wolverine. Yeah.
yeah. Then you go back to the mansion towards the end of the movie. I can't remember all that happened there. I think Wolverine said he was going to stick around.
Yeah, he's gonna stick.
Um, and then we go to like the shot at the end with Xavier and his class teaching everybody, and then he looks out the window and he kind of just sits there for a minute and looks back. Everyone says, "Everything all right, Professor?" And he says, "Yes, I think it will be."
Yeah, they everything will be
and
just fine.
and he's like talking to his class about a book or something, and it shows the lake, and you see the phoenix underneath the water.
Yeah,
And then that was the
that's where it
end.
goes.
Yeah.
Um,
This felt like a very more than the first one, I would say, a very comic book movie.
yeah.
Plot seemed like what I would expect from a
Mhm.
superhero.
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree with that. It's so weird because we're just talking about it, and it seemed like I'm like loving it. I don't know. There's something about it.
It's just
I
I
don't,
think it's
I don't think
the
it's as good as the first one.
I think it is better, but that's just
Well,
me. But
the reason is
I don't know.
I like the first one all the way through. This one I don't like. I don't care for the beginning of that, but I don't know what I can't really pinpoint it because it's not even it has like a bad intro. I mean, you have Nightcrawler like in the
Hair is
Capitol
like
going
sorry,
after the
I'm like been
president.
fixing my hair this whole episode. I'm just like it's annoying.
We're supermodels, I guess. I
Where
don't
is
know.
the hold on. I'm
But
listening. Continue.
I don't know. I can't describe. I think it was just kind of boring me. I was like, I don't know. This didn't grab me as much as the first one did. But as soon as I'm trying to think of like really the scene that really started getting me going. I'd say once Wolverine kind of gets back to the X Mansion,
Which is
that's
pretty
when
early.
yeah, it's like yeah, not too late in the film.
He kisses Jean, by the way,
Yeah, he kisses Jean, and
and she
then
was like, "I can't do this." I'm like,
yeah,
well, at
and
least he
then Mystique comes in and dressed up as Jean.
that was
Mystique,
so
Mystique after Magneto, after Wolverine. All right,
weird. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I liked the movie. I think it was a little.
it was
I wouldn't
good.
say a lot better than the first one, but I'd say a little bit better than the first one.
Mhm. Let's see.
Um,
I'm a little bit backward. That's just me though. But I get where you're coming from because
I just like the story. I think like it just kind of all comes together really nice.
it does.
The
And
first one felt
Striker's a
really.
great villain.
The first one had pacing issues.
hmm No, it
This one
does.
didn't really have pacing issues, really.
It's so weird because I agree. The pacing is way better in this one, but I think while the first one has the pacing issues, it's good all around. Or I guess yeah, good all around. First one I don't know. This one I have that I don't know. Some of the intro, it's just not
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess we go ahead and rate X2. By the
Mhm.
way, what do you think of the title?
Yeah, I thought it was
Kind
just
of
like
weird. I don't hate it, but it's like weird. I
it's
don't know.
really just X2. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Like why not just call it X-Men 2 at least, not just X2.
I guess it sounds cool, but like,
Or at least if you're gonna do X2, put like a little subtitle, like
or was like,
Wolverine's origin or something, or not X-Men.
no,
or, well, again, this was before X-Men Origins Wolverine. Just call it X2. Um,
Wolverine's Revenge.
like the video game.
That would
I
be the
don't know.
perfect topic.
Yeah, because you got with Stryker. Yeah, I mean, and, you got Wolverine in the title. That's selling tickets. Sure, we'll go with that. X2 Wolverine's Revenge. That's what we're gonna call it.
But anyway, what would you rate this movie out of 10? I can't remember what we gave the last one. I think I gave it
I know we have the
8.
same rating, I believe.
It was either 7.5 or 8.
I'm gonna say we gave it an 8. Well,
Remember.
here
Anyway,
I'm going off the assumption of we did an 8, and if that's the case, I'm gonna say this one's a 7 for me. So whatever score
um,
we gave it last time, just go back a point.
well, I don't
Of-
remember if that's what we gave it.
I want to say we
Let me
gave.
give my like honest like rating about like immediate like what I would say right now. I
Well,
think this is funny. I think I would give it an 8
so it's on.
because
So it's on par. It's better, but it's still an A.
I think I
Very
gave it a 7. I think I gave the first one a
well.
7.5. I don't know.
So whatever. Newsflash: whatever my score was on the last episode, just go back one. That's what. So it was 7. This one's a 6.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I want to say we
I
gave it
prob-
an 8.
you know what? I probably give it 7.5.
So you're gonna go back.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 7.5.
How did that change you? How didn't?
No, I was thinking. I was just like, I don't know.
Oh, you're not gonna give me credit. Well,
It's
here maybe
that's
seven.
for Cyclops.
You know what? I'll give it 7.5 because I like because Iceman's in it. I love
Okay.
Iceman. When
Well, if you like
what?
Iceman, you'll get to see a full Iceman in the next movie.
Oh, he goes full on. Oh,
I think it's the next. I think it's the only other one that he's in
that's
for
how we gotta
Iceman.
wait till like Apocalypse,
It
but
has to be the next one because that's the only other one he's in. Because they go
all right.
back to the past after this one.
Really? Oh
Um,
yeah, they do, don't they?
yeah, or after the next one at least. But yeah, so that would be our review of X2. Pretty good. We're starting to trek along in this watch
It's
through
going
next week.
smoothly so far. I'm waiting for this thing to go off the rails, and I'm
Dark Phoenix. Trust.
dark. I forgot we gotta do that one.
New
What,
Mutants. Well,
what,
that might
what
not be
about
bad.
three?
I've
Because I
heard
hear
New
three is
Mutants.
terrible.
I've heard New Mutants, so some people do like that movie. So I need to like. I've never seen it.
What about X3 though?
Or X
Or
Men: The Last
X?
Stand. It's not X3.
Oh, it's not just called it. Okay, well, what a weird title change then.
Yeah.
I heard that one's terrible.
I'm interested in you seeing the ending of that movie because that's the crazy part.
Okay, I
The
know
movie I
one
don't
thing.
remember. I need to rewatch it because I don't remember much about it,
I
but I
mean,
do
can I
remember
say
the
it on
ending.
here? Because I remember only one thing about it, but I don't know if that's the ending.
The Juggernaut. I don't know.
No, I'm the Juggernaut. No, not him. I'm talking about Cyclops. You know, did you not die in that movie?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
I thought like
Well, I guess we'll
Gene
find out
killed.
because I don't remember.
All right, wait, we'll find out next week.
Next
Then
week, stay tuned. Yeah, for X Men: The Last Stand, and then we'll be on to X Men Origins Wolverine, and then the Wolverine. Then we're taking a week break. We'll probably review Madam Web that week on Extra Beef since it'll be
shouldn't
out.
First Class be after
No,
Origin?
I'm going in release order.
So
But
that
we
would be
also switched it up at the end to make sure Deadpool was at the end.
it would be First Class then after Origins.
Is it?
Yes, it's First
Look,
Class,
hang on.
then the Wolverine.
X Men Fox Films release order. Well, look,
Oh,
I think we changed that
what?
around to like get the two. Because if we started X Men First Class and then took a week break, it would be like we just started a new trilogy, but we've been taking a break already. So like, get those the Wolverine movies out first, and then because they're both prequels, aren't they?
The Wolverine is I don't remember.
Well,
I want to
um,
say I'm gonna say I know like I know what happens at the end. I remember like Magneto. I'm gonna say it's not a prequel
um,
because there's a part where like Magneto shows up at the end. I'm like, oh, spoiler alert, but like and
no,
Wolverine acts like he knows them. So I don't know.
I don't know. Well, that's the list because it ends. We end with Logan and then Deadpool 2, and then that's it. We like
Yeah,
move those to the very end, so because those lead directly into Deadpool 3.
all right.
Um, but yeah, so that'll probably be it for this episode. Um, it was a fun movie. I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it was fun. I did enjoy it. Well, I hope everyone is enjoying the new episode of X-Men 97 from
Yeah,
the
oh yeah.
future at the moment. I guess I get
Yeah.
to watch it tomorrow. Excited for that.
Um, that's right. I didn't watch the homework episodes.
I
Trying to
did
do
not
that.
either. I meant to, but I forgot. I forgot what episodes they were. I could have just went on
Season
Twitter,
4,
but
episode 9 and 10.
well,
That one.
I might watch those at work, but
But yeah, so we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you're watching it along with us, let us know what you thought about X2 in the comments or the Q&A on Spotify or whatever, all that fun stuff. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. And remember something. I don't know. I don't.
what?
I need to figure out an intro before the series ends.
Stay excellent.
St- no, but, well, because that's like reusing the joke from before. Anyway, we're gonna go and see you guys in the
Ow.
next one. Okay. Jesus Christ.